but it's a case of we will sell what the consumer wants, and then we will learn from everyone else, including our consumer, and then we will make the move. Because aren't you using Lexus as a brand for the test bed for BEVs?
So Lexus is already 45% hybrid in South Africa.
Moving to this wonderful world of EVs, and where we find ourselves. And whenever you think that the world is the way it is, someone comes and pulls a rabbit out of a hat. And we saw that with your Toyota Cross last year. And we, like everybody else, EVs. Toyota goes and gets the price point right at under 500,000 Rand, an efficient car, it's saving the planet to a certain degree, and this thing flies off the shelves. So I suppose my question is, how does the Toyota Cross fit into your business strategy, and what does the future look like for new energy vehicles for Toyota? Specifically in South Africa, where it feels like we're pushing water uphill with government regulation, and it's difficult to get there. Toyota is kind of like pulled the rabbit out of the hat, but now what's the next phase? What do we got to look forward to?
Yeah, it's a complicated topic. I think, obviously we're going to be moving towards very low or zero emission vehicles in our entire lineup. The question is how are we going to get there? And there's a lot of discussion around the future being only battery electric vehicles. I don't believe that that's going to be the case. And I think it's going to take longer to get those costs down than what some people are anticipating. So our approach globally and in South Africa is to have a diversified approach and say, let's be realistic about our market conditions, how our customers use the vehicles, the different usage requirements from fleet customers to people wanting to use them in their farms, to private usages. The different technologies are going to have pros and cons in different areas, and we need to be quite thoughtful about how we introduce the different technologies, because it's all very well and good to say I can bring in a battery electric version of a Fortuner, for example.
Yeah.
But if I tell you what the price point it would be, nobody would buy it. It's not about the technology solution, it's about how does the customer see the value?
Yes.
What's the value for the customer, and how will the market respond? So with hybrid, we knew that we could have the quickest impact on our overall CO2. And we also knew that we could get it at a price point that would be really appealing. But we're a little bit concerned about how would customers feel about driving a hybrid vehicle with the dynamics that go with that. To be honest, I was bullish. I had to be bullish to justify, but I underestimated it. From very soon on, we suddenly had a 60% order bank on hybrids only. So South African customers responded very well, and everybody that I've spoken to that's driven the hybrid will only now drive a hybrid in the future.
Yeah.
So now we have another problem, because I need to create a lot more hybrids.
Yes.
But we also know that as the technology advances, the plug-in hybrid is a really cool solution.
Yes.
Because you can drive to work and back 5 days a week, zero emissions.
Yes.
It's got enough range to do that. And if you want to go away for the weekend,
you can.
You've got the hybrid advantage. And you don't have the anxiety of can you find a charger or not. But you can charge it overnight at home, and it's really an efficient.
And you can do the school run, the shop run, everything.
You can do everything you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I commute 45 k's one way. I can get to work and back on
just on battery.
Just on battery.
Oh, well.
The price points are a little bit high, so we're working on trying to get that down. And obviously, if we can get government support, that will really help to accelerate the transition, and this is going to be important for us. But we also know battery electric vehicles are an appealing proposition, especially with smaller vehicles where the cost premiums will not be as high, and with premium vehicles where customers will be prepared to pay for that premium. And that's where we are in South Africa. It's only premium vehicles that are selling with BEVs.
Yes.
But we're investing in it heavily globally, and we're really hoping that in the next few years we'll be able to bring in some really competitive BEV drivetrains as well. And we've just brought in 2 fuel cell vehicles as well to Mirai.
Yes.
Because we think that that's an important solution, especially for larger vehicles.
I suppose trucks.
Trucks, buses, maybe even larger SUVs.
Okay.
because when you get to larger vehicles, the weight of the battery pack now starts to compromise the overall efficiency of the package. So, we're looking at all of those, and whilst we haven't introduced it in South Africa, we even think that carbon neutral fuel, ICE engines, is an important consideration. Biofuels or even hydrogen gas. So we're doing a lot of testing on that as well. So it's quite exciting, but I think we all know that we don't know quite how this is going to move. What I know now is very different to what I knew a year ago. So we're taking a very pragmatic approach. How do we make sure we move quickly, don't box ourselves into a technology that could be outdated within 2 years? Also make sure that when customers buy our cars, they have a really good resale value in 5 to 10 years' time. I don't want to be selling a product that I think could be defunct in a few years' time. So how to find that balance is really important for us. The other big challenge for us is that our business model is very reliant on our production operations. So we sell 65% of the local vehicles sold or produced in South Africa, and we export about 50% of our vehicles. So we need the balance between production volume, exports, and local sales to make sure that our cars are really competitive in South Africa. However, Europe is transitioning to BEVs very quickly. So it means I need to transition local production to BEV production very quickly. So it's a level of complexity that has been really challenging to manage. But I don't want to lose the exports to Europe, and I need that, but it might help me accelerating the transition in South Africa.
Because of that pressure.
Because of that pressure. So I think we're fortunate in South Africa in that we have all of the OEMs have this pressure and are all producing and supplying vehicles that are global standard vehicles. And even the importers, it's global standard vehicles. So we're not a country that is in any way disadvantaged with our product range. The only issue is we don't have a government that has a specific incentive to support that accelerated transition, which I think is very important. I think they acknowledge that, but they're trying to work through the details so that we have a clever solution that we can afford as a country. I mean, I think the complexities are high. But I read something the other day. You've got a new CEO in Toyota now. Correct.
That's coming
1st of April.
1st of April, right? But your previous CEO, he said something that really struck home with me. And that was, and I'm going to paraphrase it, I'm not going to get it verbatim, but he said that Toyota wants to produce the widest possible range of vehicles that can service the widest possible range of consumers. And I think everything you've just said kind of speaks to that.
Absolutely.
Is not boxing yourself, trying to really, you're almost hedging your bets by making sure that you're selling to the widest range of consumers, and then taking this almost, I wouldn't say a wait and see approach, but it's a case of we will sell what the consumer wants, and then we will learn from everyone else, including our consumer, and then we will make the move. Because aren't you using Lexus as a brand for the test bed for BEVs?
So Lexus is already 45% hybrid in South Africa. And we'll go to 100% non-pure ICE very, very quickly.
Because Lexus is that premium kind of segment,
Lexus is the premium segment. So there's a lot of good R&D into Lexus as a brand. And we'll bring in plug-in hybrid Lexus vehicles, and we'll bring in BEV Lexus vehicles very quickly. And
so that will be the kind of almost test for Toyota locally, to see how those are taken up. I know it's in a different segment of the market, but it'll be the foot in the door after the Toyota Cross.
Yes, a lot of it's driven by availability of product. If I had a BEV Toyota, I'd launch it straight away anyway. I'm not waiting for Lexus. So I don't see that as a sequence. It's useful because the product development there is quite advanced. But I think in the next 5 years, we're going to have quite a wide range of new energy vehicles across plug-in hybrids, BEVs. As the products become available and at the right price points, we'll launch them as quickly as we can.
So your new CEO coming into the seat on the 1st of April seems to be a lot more new energy vehicle focused, and seems to have embraced the NEV range quite a lot. I know it's early days, but from everything I've read, he seems to have kind of embraced a little bit of a new energy vehicle stance in his.
He was also previously head of the GR brand as well, so that's exciting.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see a lot
more racing
GR brand vehicles at the same time.
Search AutoTrader.